The next matchup is on Ambush Pass, and this is going to be Farms, otherwise known as Thistlebanger, and Zlo. This is one of the loser bracket matchups, but it should be an interesting one because both of these guys are rated at exactly 2,000. Perfecto. Let's go ahead and get in and see about these initial build orders, if I can put the proper things in place on my computer to not have things in the way of my FAF screen. Okay, so we've got 2 land factories going down first for Farms. He's got land factory, Mex, 4 P-gens, and then a second land factory. Looks like we've got an engineer out to this side, probably to do a bit of reclaim. Nope, he is getting it to build mass extractors. There's a deceptive amount of reclaim on this map. We've got large rocks here, which are going to make you think, oh yes, I could just infinitely reclaim and everything will be fine. But no, there's not actually that many rocks out here. So there's a couple of clumps, few tens, lots of trees, but not actually that much mass. I have overestimated it quite a few times as I was building. Zlo is going to take advantage of all of it though and get down 4 land factories without even trying for an air factory. So he is going to be going for full map control all the way balls to the walls, and both of these guys have actually taken UEF. I just realized that. So we've got another mirror faction. Looks like we've got a land factory planned. That is going to be on a long build order from an engineer over on this side, probably this one that has all of the manual reclaim queued, I think. Yes, probably. No, it's this engineer that has all the manual reclaim queued. But that is a brave amount to build because there's now 2 mech marines headed up, one on either side, that are going to get all up in the business of Farms engineers. And actually, this looks like a solid NG kill over here. Zlo is going to eliminate that expansioneer. No more expansion on this side for you, Sonny. And it looks like a mass extractor got forgotten over there. Or maybe he wants that engineer out to the front more quickly. And that is the answer. Also got another engineer kill scheduled on this side. That NG will not be able to escape. Frowny face from Farms. That is a hard loss to take in the early portion of the game. He actually had to re-queue this engineer. No more build queue down here. He's got to also reset all of those reclaim orders, or he might not. He may just go and try to secure it in the first place. He's lost all of that time, so he's not going to be able to make that work. We've got 3 land factories online with an air factory 4th. Farms is far behind on mass income. He's got 160 versus 180 power income, so he's behind on that as well. And he went for an air factory that I don't think he'll be able to support the power for, since he isn't getting all of that reclaim from the south side that he sent that engineer away from. So I think that Zlo has definitely knocked Farms off of his game completely. That is a devastating effect on the build order. So we've seen some adjustment. The air factory is not paused, actually. He's re-queued some more engineers to go out and get the manual reclaim, make ends meet, and now he'll be able to get on with his life. Looks like we do have an air factory planned. I did not actually see if that was planned before Zlo saw the air scout, but it is planned now. So we've got 4 land factories with the 5th building, and then another air factory after that. Radar going down in the main base as well, which is going to get quite a bit of range on this map. It is a tiny one after all, so about 1/3 of the map covered with that central radar. Good dealio to see that there. 2 tanks moving over on the left to try to slip around into the back of the base. Nice little poking and prodding maneuvers from Farms, who is now going to lose the mass extractor. Not pretty. Farms is going to be getting knocked down a peg once again on that mass income. So how are things going to look moving forward? 5 land factories total with 1 air. 5 land factories already built with 1 air. And we now have a T1 bomber out for Farms. So maybe he'll be able to bomb something important enough. Air scout probably isn't it. That he'll be able to catch up the ground that he lost. Zlo moving up on the right side expansion, going to tank with his ACU right through the center. There is an engineer trying to build a T1 point defense over there, but I don't think that's going to be successful. All the tanks siphoning off to the right for Farms and to the left for Zlo, because of course that's where the ACU locations are. Funny to see how symmetrical the movements are between 2 good players. And of course nothing happens in the middle because you gotta kill these sons of guns. There are 6 total T1 point defense on the center of the map. Of course, 2 mass extractors to be claimed along with a fair amount of reclaim should you be the person who is lucky enough to divert an artillery to kill those things. But that means you have to build a unit that you're not going to use immediately in combat, which is a bad idea on a map this small. So for now, all of this is going to get ignored and Farms and Zlo are simply going to poke at each other's bases. Now I will point out that Zlo is being slightly more successful in this regard because he has gotten further. He has killed more mass extractors, he has secured more territory, and he is ahead by 2 mass per tick, but behind by 20 power. He is building a small amount of air. Farms is building a smaller amount of air, I think, because I do believe he is mass stalled. That is a very slowly building interceptor. Nope, he is not, but he will be soon at this rate. Looking much better on Zlo's side, 2,500 reclaim versus 22, so not really enough of a difference there to call anything out. Zlo moving his ACU up, sees exactly how many tanks are actually in that location, and backs up because he does not like the looks of that. However, he is going to snag another mech kill, which is kind of a big deal, and Farms is now going to be free to move up as well. Zlo building point defense in his base to try to deny this, but I think Zlo is going to be in the better position on this. He was able to divert more of his units around to the right side than Farms was. Farms is not going to have enough units at his back to actually push into the base. Zlo just might. But now, all of these units are being diverted to the right, so the chances are getting less and less as time goes on. Also, there are 2 point defense up, now 1, because I think Zlo landed a solid overcharge. Let's see. Nope, he did not land an overcharge. He was simply hitting it up with his artillery. Nice use of the Lobos there. We've got 6 land factories over here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 land factories planned. Holy cow. Of course, Zlo is ahead on the eco, so he will be able to support more factories than Farms will, but his ACU is taking a fair amount of damage as he is fronting it over there. I am mildly concerned for Zlo's safety, but I think that given enough time, he will come out ahead in the long run. 25 mass per tick for both of these players with almost exactly symmetrical map control. Zlo in control of 3,200 reclaim, Farms in control of 3,200 reclaim. I take back what I just said because these guys are dead set even. It is going to come down to the micro and the securing of property. And while Farms is getting quite low on HP, he is doing exceptionally well at moving into the base. He might actually be able to take out a little bit of build power on this side, although his tank numbers are dwindling. Oh no. That's not good. He has overextended his commander, but he might have the units to back it up. Just maybe. He does have an energy storage over there. He will be able to overcharge, something that Zlo is not going to be able to do. It is not devoting the mass to building. So no energy storage over here. Honestly, that seems like a very weird choice. Lots of point defense down. Zlo focusing on the tanks, though. Is he going to have enough Lobos? I don't think he is. He's going to get denied yet again. Why are you building? That was probably a template misclick. Meant to do a point defense template, instead got a mass storage template. I see no other reason for this. Farms is over here setting up land factories on the left-hand side to support his reclaim and building efforts. Landing another overcharge, killing 4 units at once, which is pretty valuable in a situation like this. Are we actually going to see a base trade? I would love to see a base trade in a tournament situation. And we just might. More Lobos moving up, but Zlo's total unit count is dwindling quite rapidly. He is going to be able to force Farms out of his base. Not much reclaim to be had, I think, because Zlo is already reclaiming it. Let's take a look at the numbers once again. Zlo at 5,000 reclaim. Farms at 3,500. 1,500 mass is a lot of T1 tanks, and he is going to secure more. Farms being pushed back. 25 to 25 mass income still. But this is going to allow Zlo to pick up his long-lost mass extractor, and Farms is going to have to fall back completely. I don't think he's going to be able to hold against this amount of units, and since his factories are so close to the fight, he may end up losing those too, but it looks like Zlo is not intent on pursuing. I don't think he knows exactly how many units are over there. He does have a limited amount of radar coverage, but not all the way over to the other side. He doesn't know what waits for him beyond the black. Zlo also building land factories on this side. This is going to be a lot of mass for farms to reclaim. I mean, a lot. Look at this. Whereas Zlo has pretty much gotten all of the mass that he is going to get over here. Farms, 3,700 reclaim. Does not have the engineers out in force to go ahead and get that, but he will soon. Zlo at almost 6K reclaim. So double the reclaim numbers. T1 bombers coming out for farms. Those are going to take out the T1 point defense on this side, hopefully freeing up even more of the central territory for him to claim. Of course, Zlo is already on it as well with some Lobos. Those are going to take out the point defense with incredible efficiency, freeing up the engineers to come in and grab all of that tasty mass. Both of these players are struggling for income at the moment. I would say this is a war of attrition, but it is definitely a violent war of attrition. In the end, it all comes down to economy, but the proxy for that war are the units on the front line. And right now, Farms does look like he is recovering on his unit count. Zlo having to pull back slightly, this choke point kind of biting him in the rear with the number of units that he has, because it bunches them up, allowing Farms to score easy overcharges. 72 kills on that ACU, 40 on Zlo's side, and Zlo is going to bypass Farms' main base. Point defense not going to be able to stop the tanks that are on this edge, and those are going to move towards the south side. Looks like Zlo's consolidating his forces for a push on Farms' base, which may end in the loss of all of this build power, possibly with the ACU itself. I don't think that's going to be the case because he does have enough tanks to deny the complete push. But Zlo did get scouts over. He's got intel. He knows what is over here, and he now feels confident enough to push in oh so slightly. If he can kill off all of this build power, Farms is going to be in a bad position because he only has 6 land factories in the home base as opposed to the many more that Zlo has. Zlo is also building the 2 land factories over here, so it looks like they're about even on total number. But if Farms loses this, it is going to be hard to come back from it. Tanks splitting up, Farms able to secure another dozen kills on his ACU as these tanks battle it out on this front. I don't think Zlo's going to win this. He's not. He's going to end up leaving more reclaim for Farms once again, and that's going to weaken his overall position. However, he was able to get radar down over here. He's got point defense on this side. He does have enough units to continue harassing, and he now has a T1 bomber killing off build power and power on the other side. The energy storage is down, taking with it the T2 engineer that just came out of this factory. Farms sacrificing some of his total unit number to try to go for a T2 HQ to push this fight forward. If he can start getting pillars out of that, it could be a very effective tool. But he's got to unlock the factory first. Zlo has got air control. He is bombing the factories and the power generators. More Lobos in on this side, devastating farm supply down to 220 power. These guys are running out of trees to reclaim. The fields are being picked bare, and Zlo is now looking like he's picking up some of the build power on this side. He's getting units in. He's got a point defense on Farm's doorstep. He might be able to secure this. Counter push on the south side. Gonna kill off one of the factories at least, putting Farms in a little bit of a worse situation. There it goes. He is going to have enough units to deny that, but now Zlo is going to be able to hold this pass with the units that he has left and move with all of these to the left-hand side of Farms' base. Farms down to 13 income, stalling on power, devastated economy. Zlo killed it on that one. Zlo actually positive on mass, able to build more build power if he so desires. Farms, gimme ye, bitch. Yeah, you need that, don't you? 5 income as the power stall hits in a brutal manner. He is no longer able to build units. The amount of green continues to rise, and Zlo is going to be able to secure this map control. I don't think there's any way Farms comes back from this. He's back to full health on his ACU. He got the veterancy, but he doesn't have any power left. Down to 100, still losing P-Gens. His T2 factory is locked, gonna lose the T2 engineers, slow locking down his base with point defense. And that, folks, is all she wrote. Gonna see the end of this game soon. Just gotta figure out how this kill is going to happen. He actually did get a couple of strikers out, which may be able to clean up some of this mess, but Farms moving his commander into the home base. He's going to come under fire from all of these units, the point defense as well. The health is going to rapidly strip away from his fragile body as he enters the red. And there he goes, meeting his nuclear oblivion. That was a good game. A very good game indeed. That is going to wrap everything up for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like and share it with someone. If you want to support the channel, catch the streams, or join the Discord, check out the links in the description. Thank you all for being at least partially insane, and I will see you in the next one.